Hey everybody, it's TF. Now welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing another action figure review. This time it's going to be of the Marvel Legends series, Walgreens Exclusive Baron Zemo. We have a new updated Baron Zemo, and again, it's a Walgreens exclusive, which sometimes are harder to get. But this one here, I got it pretty easily. Ordered it online, came to me a couple days later, so that's always good. I don't know if I'll be able to properly compare this one with the 2014 version. I'd have to dig that one up, and it might be a bit of a hassle. But I'll try towards the end of the video. If not, then sadly you'll find out. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at the packaging here. Top half, figure in the box, it says Legends series like it usually does. Backdrop is green, as you can see. You can see some of the accessories as well. Bottom half, it says Marvel, Superheroes, Baron Zemo, and the Hasbro logo right there on the bottom right. On this side, which is going to be reflected on the other side, it is a really nice artwork there of just really nice artwork of Baron Zemo. On the back here, here's a wide shot of that, of the art that we saw already. And I zoom in a little bit more, you can kind of see the read-ups a little bit. They add a lot of multilingual read-ups now on the back of these packagings. But as you can see there, multilingual read-up, Baron Zemo, Marvel Legends series on the top right. And there's a barcode in case you need it. Let's go ahead and get this figure out of the packaging. So here's the figure out of the packaging. Overall, pretty nice figure. There's not much for me to complain about. It's got some new, nice parts that are being utilized here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the accessories, then we'll take a closer look at the figure. So besides the open hand and the fist that he came packaged with, we do have just a couple other accessories, mostly this sword right here. We've gotten this in the past, but we don't get it super often. I do like the sculpt of it. The guard, the hilt, and the handle and all that. And then the pommel also looks nice. I wish there was a little bit better paint on the gold right here on the pommel and the guard. But the handle has some pretty nice paint. There's a little bit of splotching going on there. So that sucks a bit. But the silver in the blade looks very nice, I think. Could be a little better, but not too bad. And then just very basic, if I can hold them in my hands properly, very basic gripping hands that we've gotten with plenty of characters in the past, in Marvel Legends. But we do have some brown lines going all the way down the hands, as you can see there. And they are very nicely painted. There's nothing on the inside of the hands, though. So, that's pretty cool. So here's a quick shot with the previous Baron Zemo on the right next to the new one on the left. I was able to find the previous one. Mine's a little scratched up at this point, though. But as you can see, both these are definitely different. Just completely done differently is what I was trying to say. First of all, Bucky Cap mold on the previous one. A mix of new parts here. Even the head sculpts, I believe, are different. If we zoom in a little closer, as you can see, the previous one, the piece on his forehead is bigger than the old, on the new one here. I think the head's a little wider here than this one. Of course, the biggest difference too, the colors are darker on the previous one. Just looking at the whole thing, the yellows are pretty similar, but still a little darker on the previous one too. I don't think the previous one is bad at all. I do think the new one's a little bit better, though, just because I like some of the more actual effort to details, like in the wrinkles and whatnot, that they put into this suit. Anyway, let's just take a closer look at the new one here. This is a nice looking figure, man. I really like this head sculpt. The gold going around his head, looking really nice. It's very nicely painted. It's clean, not any splotching from what I can see. The lines are also a nice sculpt too. They're separate sculpts, just separately sculpted lines and whatnot, as well as paint going in there too, and the paint's very clean as well. The eyes nicely painted white. That's what the back of the head looks like. All that looks great. You have this neck piece going around his chest. That's also part of his mask. That also has these separate sculpted lines with paint in them too, looking really nice. There might be a little bit of imperfections in some areas, but you really gotta look hard enough to notice them. So not too big of a deal to me. Other than that, when there's purple around here, there's not much actual paint details and whatnot. Just mostly stretching of the suit as well as muscles and whatnot. You can see that on the abs and the pecs and mostly the upper torso as well and whatnot. You have separate sculpts for these things. Part of these fur pieces, they do plug in to here, as you can see. So I don't know if they're entirely removable. I'm not even going to try that. But they can move around independently a little bit at least. There's some nice sculpting, as well as a little bit of black paint, these black spots throughout the fur pieces. The purple here looks really nice. We have some nice sculpting when it comes to the wrinkles and whatnot. We have pinless tech here. These at least the upper arms. I think the shoulders too, but the upper arms and the elbow, like the actual joint right here, are reused from the new Red Skull here. However, we have a separate piece. Well, this newer piece, I think this is retooled just to have a longer glove and whatnot. The brown on the lines are just the lines are pretty nicely painted. I don't know what I was trying to say just a second ago. I don't see any splotches on here. Not super noticeable, at least. Maybe a little bit of imperfection, like a little bit of waviness right there, but not too bad. This waistband is also actually not bad. It's molded in gold. Sometimes when it's molded instead of painted, it doesn't look amazing. However, it doesn't look too bad this time around, though. However, I think I've said however like 2 times already. 2 times too many. Going forward, this piece is going to look a little bent. Hopefully it's not going to warp too much. So just be wary of that. There's a little bit of line sculpted onto the actual belt. We do have... I can't really tell you where this chest piece has been, the upper torso has been reused before. If it is, it may be new. The waist going all the way down to legs, even down to the feet, I do believe are reused, because we do have the pins right here on the legs. There's not much going on in the legs besides when it comes to muscles that are sculpted in there. Not much paint. It's just molded in purple. That's what the back looks like. That stretchy butt. We do have some fur on top of the boots, which I think the paint apps are a little bit messier here than up here with those spots, but it's not that big of a deal to me, honestly. Still looks pretty decent. And then we get down to these feet. And I believe these have been reused before. If I'm being honest, I think they were a little too big, but that's a bit of a nitpick, because it's either this, or they could... I mean, there's probably some other feet they could have chosen. Or, you could have had the smaller feet for the Bucky Cap mold, and it just wouldn't look good. Probably wouldn't fit either. So, a little bit bigger feet, I'm fine with. That's what the bottom of the feet look like, too. So, overall, yeah, pretty decent articulation. We're about to go into articulation. Pretty decent details. Yikes. Anyway... We have new head system here, where it's like a ball pin, whatnot, going into the head and as well into the torso, side to side, all the way around. And we do have a bit of a pivot. These pieces, again, swivel just ever so slightly, but it does go all the way around. They go in and out. Upper arm swivel, double jointed elbows. This one up here on this arm is a little bit tight, so just be careful with some of these tighter joints if you have any. Swivel at the wrist here. Now this right hand goes up and down. The rest of them, including the fist and the alternate hands, go in and out. Waist twist here. We do have an ab crunch that actually goes back pretty far and forward pretty far too. Legs go outward that much. Back, not really that much, but we do have pretty decent splits. Upper thigh swivel. Double jointed knees. And we do have a swivel right here at the calf. And the downward motion for the feet is a little tight on mine, but that's as far down as I can go right now. Going up's a little bit tight too. But we do have ankle rockers. For quick size comparisons, on the left we have the new symbiote Spider-Man. On the right we have the first ever Black Series Mandalorian. I believe the Spider-Man might be a tiny bit taller than Baron Zemo, but they're about the same height. And as you can see, Marvel Legends are going to be a little bit taller than Black Series. So that's it for the review. This is a very nice figure. It's a very nicely updated figure too. The previous one is still pretty good, but this one I do think is slightly better just because of the new sculpted parts, retooled in other ways, and complete new parts like the head sculpt. The head sculpt's awesome, man. Seriously. The fur pieces are also pretty cool. Pretty nice accessories. Maybe could have come with a gun or a couple extra hands or something, but overall, it is a very nice figure. I don't really have major problems with it besides very minor paint imperfections and the feet just being ever so slightly big, and those nitpicks don't keep me from liking the figure. It's still really good. It's a Walgreens exclusive, like I said earlier. I'll leave a link in the description down below. Thank you guys very much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment down below what you think about the figure, what you think about the review. Leave a like, share amongst your friends, and I'll see you guys later.